Hello and hey, mess around with Golf with your friends, this time Peaceful Pines, the brand new controversial DLC course. We'll get into that a little bit later, but for now, we'll go right into the shots. Hole number one, actually one of the hardest holes in the course, not being facetious here. It does require pretty specific power for your angle. I like to aim right about here at 1.5, maybe just a touch under kind of power. Like I said, it's specific, so whatever angle you choose, that is the power you have to pick as well. And you see, I still almost miss, even though I took that long to line it up. It's not a shame to not get a hole in one your first couple times. Hole number two, we're going to take the tip of our cursor and put it just outside the stone here in the course. Full power, let it rip. Hole three, go to the bottom of this hill, one tile from the right, go 3.5 power, or just a little under. Anything over 3.5 gets a little crazy. You can hit something and fly out. Hole four, we're going to go full power straight forward, and I'm going to jump exactly one time. Wait for this guy to get out of the way. As you can see there's a nightmare scenario where if you hit the cup on the backside and it goes spilling out, that could be terrible. So you might want to wait a little longer than I did, but this is just fine as is. Hole number five. I can't see the tip of my cursor here, but you want to go 3 power, and you want to go just the tiniest little bit right of the dead center straight line that you are currently on. If you can't quite see it, and this happens like this, that's exactly what straight center does. We'll get it this time. Sorry about that. But as we now see the tip of our cursor, just the tiniest little bit, as you can see, to the right of that dead center line, because it's just that little bit. Hole number 6, got this happy gator. He doesn't always give you a hole in one, but we will show you how to get into that. So just right here, anything about 2 power or just over. Right into his mouth, out the tail, and it's not even uncommon that this happens. It is more common that you go into the hole, but it's not uncommon for that. So the sort of guaranteed consistent shot is to go 3 power left of that crease that you're seeing. We're going to jump twice. So after we hit the wall, we want to jump twice. Boom, boom. If I would have waited a little bit longer, it would have been less sketchy there. So if you want to just wait a second on the second jump, that is better, but that is sort of a more consistent, quote-unquote, guaranteed hole in one there. But it's less fun. You don't go through a happy gator. Hole 7, going to the upstairs of the boot. Go 3.5 power, maybe a touch under. You can aim just a touch left of center of the hole. If you do go in this extreme, like that, like just straight in and zip down, you will hit the far right side of the bowl, which gets a little sketchy. I haven't missed yet, but that's a recipe for disaster, so just look out for that. Hole number 8, if you want to go and have some fun with the treasure chest, you can go 3.5. You want to go when the top of it is going upward, not fully up, because we do want to bounce off it a little bit to angle in the hole. That does not always go in, however, so I'll reset. We can use that same exact 3.5 power going up about a halfway up this stone piece and just let her fly. It's very, very consistent, and it's obviously a little bit faster too, so much better. Hole number 9, this can be a little bit tricky. I like to aim just to the right side of the left part of the first Stonehenge monument we see at 2.1/5 power. The power is pretty specific here. This is like the least you want to go. Maybe a touch more is a bit better. As you see, we will just creep in there. Like I said, a little bit more power would have made that a little less sketchy, but it is pretty tight. This is one of the harder holes for a hole in one like that. Hole 10, another pretty specific hole. You see these diamonds sort of surrounding the archway here. We're going to aim directly at the bottom of it, maybe a touch to the left of that bottom, and go 2 in a pretty specific power again. When that drawbridge is completely up, that's when we want to release. That kind of makes it more consistent for me to tell you. And I haven't flown out of that bowl just yet, but again, it could happen. Hole 11, this is a nice, easy little shot. Go to the bottom of the hill, probably 2 from the left if you are looking at it like that. We need to go specifically under 3 power. It cannot be 3 power. That'll be slightly too much. And with this little bit of power, we can go anywhere in the bowl and not fly out the back. That's why we take that little bit off, but also the angle is affected by that. Hole 12, pretty simple. There are a bunch of stones on the back wall you can see. I'll aim at specifically between two of them. It's also over the line that separates the hilly part from the flat part. We go 3 power to get into the back snake's mouth. Wonder how many times that sentence has been said in human history. But we are droppings out of this into an easy hole-in-one. Hole 13, this one can be kind of specific. There is a white sort of line running up and down. It's almost like a wishbone, but the right side of that. So like this little line you see me pointing at. We are going to go right, just barely tippity-tip under 2.5 power, aiming at the left side of the line. It is pretty specific, so stick with me a little bit, but this is the easiest way to get this hole-in-one. So we're aiming right here, and we're going to let it go. Hits off there a couple different times. It's not like ultra specific. You do have a little bit of wiggle room, but it's not a lot. So I just want you to be kind of, deliberate when you're making your decision there. Hole 14. I like to get your camera flat to the earth, as flat as we can go. Aim at the very left side of this rock, going about 1 and just under 1/2 power. It's a very popular thing to go just under half for a lot of these, unfortunately. But we'll bounce off and round and in. Even if you're a little bit off with your aim, that amount of power will keep you inside that little bowl. Hole 15, if you go too soon, I will show that off. But you want to go quickly, but not too quickly. This is too quickly. On the next go around, I'll shoot it. You don't want to just let it go at any time, but you do want to do it kind of quickly. You don't want it to be on your screen for too long. So we'll go 3 power, just about here. And then when we see an opening, then we go. We don't want to shoot before the opening. We want to wait till we see the opening, and then we can shoot it. I know it's kind of specific to my latency, but I think a lot of people will play to a server that is pretty close to that. Just trying to give you the feel, because that's the easiest way to get down into the bowl. Hole 16, this one is, again, this is probably one of the trickiest ones on the course, honestly, because I like to shoot sort of where the log there meets the hill part, and it kind of creates that little bit of a weird log shape. We want to go 2 and just over 2.5. I don't know if this is going to be enough power, so we'll just let it fly and see how it works out. We're a little light. We still might have a chance. Oh, we just rim out there. So we'll reset that, and to correct that, I will go slightly to the left and slightly more power at the same exact time. This one is pretty specific, so if I don't get it here, that looks perfect. It is. If I didn't get it there, I probably would have tried to talk you into something different, but that is it's just one of the hardest ones on the course. Don't worry about it. Hole 17, I'm not sure what's going on with the door on the right. That is actually really hard to get into, and it leads to nowhere. It's a bait. But the chimney, 3.5 power, straight at it. And when you're clear, let it rip. I have not gotten a hole-in-one yet. That's like 6 or 7 times now, but always possible that you take a weird bounce and do miss. So I apologize, but I have not missed yet. It shouldn't miss. And hole 18, the last hole in the course, there are a series of nuts on top of this thing, from on top of bolts, screwing them in. The left side of the leftmost one is kind of like a shadowy darks. We're going to aim directly at that, full power, and then when you're ready, go ahead and let it fly. Bounce off that, and you kind of go directly in. So if you're a little bit off with your aim, you will end up in that little bowl area, but the hole-in-one is oddly specific. So that's the course. It is absolutely 18able. That's the first time in the history of the game that a classic 18 can be achieved legitimately. It's just wild to think about. This is a great course. I'm going to talk about it for a little bit here. The course is the best one Team 17's ever made. It's fun. It's easy. Every hole is hole-in-oneable. It's that arcade mini golf experience that I want to experience. It's just the price point. The new price point it's legitimately too steep. I bought it because, like I said, I have a monetizable YouTube channel, and I had $25 worth of gift cards that were just sitting on my Steam account. So perfect storm for me. I get to make a video about it. I get to play one of my most favorite games of all time. It's not the same for everybody. It's not going to make a lot of sense for a lot of people to spend $9 on a course. I believe it's £8, maybe €8, versus it's even more expensive is what I'm trying to say. So it's not the value's not there. So I do apologize for that, but I did want to get the guide out because it's legitimately a good course. Definitely pick it up when it's on sale. It has to be a pretty deep sale for it to be kind of, reasonable. So not sure what we're doing with that, but before I start rambling too much, I did have a video about this. I will put a link in the cards where I'm disappointed in the controversy surrounding it because it just doesn't make sense at this price point. It doesn't. So if you like this game and you aren't on console, I'm so sorry. We have a workshop with 17,500 items. A lot of them are working. Some of them are trash. I've made the trash. Don't worry about it. But there are so many good courses on there. So if you are looking for something new, look on there. It's one click to subscribe to something. It'll automatically download and it'll automatically keep updated as long as you have it subscribed. So that's my official recommendation for that. Go workshop. But this course, it is good. It's fun. And it could be 18. So there's a lot of just huge cons to the fun pros, but they're all there. So like I said, I'm rambling. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be safe, guys.